Welcome back to my room, everyone. And today I like to share you one of my new favorite film. If I'm gonna make another top 10 favorite film list, this movie is gonna be in the list. That makes 20, of course, top 20 favorite movie list. But unlike in James Rolfe's top 50 movie list, I'm gonna do something different. If you want to make me that more of these lists, just let me know in the comments below. Anyway, today's movie review is Night to Remember, which is a Titanic movie, and before the James Cameron film. It's a UK film, a British film, and it's belonging in it was made in the 50s, so it makes 40 years before. I think it's 40. I'm not good at math, so yeah. So yeah, it's very older than James Cameron film, and if somebody asked me, Khan, which one is your favorite? Is it Titanic or Night to Remember? Well, I'll say Night to Remember. Sorry, James Cameron fans. But yeah, this movie is better than Cameron's movie. Don't get me wrong, I love James Cameron's Titanic. This is my first film I ever saw before Harry Potter. And I actually don't remember any of it because I was inside of my mom's belly. That's right, she was pregnant. But even though I was a kid, I watched that few times on television. Of course, censored because of Rose's naked body. Of course, I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, this film is actually, like I said, better than the Cameron's movie. And the reason is simple: because of the cinematography and acting. And actually, they both went good their own ways. But why I like this movie? Because of the characters and the acting. And also, they show us about the consequences if you don't understand. I mean, there's a consequences about driving the ship and you hit something and it will be sink. So yeah, it's about the consequences and it gives us a great message. This movie is done pretty well. And of course, there's lots of facts. Like there's a guy who's supposedly the main character in the film who talks with the captain how long the ship is gonna sink. How long? I mean, how many times left, as they say. And then there is one of my favorite characters in the film, which is a guy with a mustache who's trying to get drunk during the sinking. And you're probably wondering why this guy getting drunk and why is he drinking during this situation. Reason is simple, because there's a fact. If you don't know, there's a fact which is alcohol drinks make you warmer. Also you get drunk, but also your body gets warmer. So that's why you get drunk. Smart thinking. Because that ocean was cold. Like, of course you won't make it if you drunk. I don't know. And there's a ship who rescued Titanic, which is a cat. I forgot the name of the ship, but the ship's captain and the crew was very delightful people. Like, they know they're in a bad situation. Like, the captain and the other character was my favorite character in the film. Like, they know they want to help those people, as many as they can. And there's another ship, of course, ignoring what happened in Titanic because they don't know what's really happening. You can't blame them. You can't blame the captain of his laziness. But if this ship helped them too, there will be more than 700, right? Yeah, 705 survivors. It could be more. But it didn't, so lots of casualties happened. There's only 705 people surviving in Titanic in real life. And also, I like to say something about the submarine who's searching the Titanic in real life. Just 5 people died there. Of course, submarine exploded, and that was the most saddest news I ever heard since more tragedies happen on this world. So, well wishes go to their families, and as I think, the most tragedies happen in this world are World Wars 1 and 2, of course, the genocide, and Titanic sinking. I mean, we live in a world who has much more devastating stuff happens. We live in a hard world, and yeah, we can't change that. And The Night to Remember gives me with the emotional note about I can't forget that thousands of people died, drowned, and freeze to death. You want to see more people survive. Even during the end of the movie, the ship is sinking is completed. There's lots of people pray for God and Jesus. And that scene has devastated me. I tried to not cry, but of course I didn't. But my inside was crying because I can feel their fear, and I can't understand how they're not gonna make it. There's some funny moments in the film too, but that doesn't change the fact this is the most devastating history ever happened in the world. And also, it shows us a lesson, like I said, it's a consequence of what happens if you don't carefully control the ship, and if you ignore what happened in the accident. Like, this movie blows your mind. It's like a life lesson to human beings. If you're gonna captain of some cruise ship, you should watch this film because it gives you a great life lesson. And this movie I'll give 5 stars because it deserves to get that attention. Like James Cameron movie's all-time classic, but if you haven't seen this movie, then go see it. It's the greatest film I ever seen, as in one of the greatest films in the 50s. Of course, there's a lots of great films in the 50s, but this has to be number one for me. Number one best 50s film ever made.